Hello again, it's Trudy here from HotPatterns, and this time on this lovely little YouTube clip I'm going to be introducing our brand new collection, which is a fabulous 6-piece collection of sleep and loungewear, and we called it the Boudoir of Bliss. Now, we've had this kind of in the works and planning it for ages, really for a long time, but what we were really keeping in mind when we were doing this was, what is the Boudoir of Bliss? What exactly is it? And we thought really it was kind of our fantasy happy place. You know, the place where there's no children to wrangle or pets to walk or laundry to do or any of that boring everyday domestic stuff. The Boudoir of Bliss is actually a beautiful, beautiful place. It's all clean and crisp and lovely. It's got scented candles and colour lilies in huge vases and huge, huge white beds with billowing pillows. Of course it has. You've got one in your house, I've got one in mine, of course we have. But anyway, even if you haven't got a real live Boudoir of Bliss, we thought it'd be lovely to do a collection that it sort of embodies that whole mood, where you can kind of get dressed up and just look so gorgeous when it's bedtime. And of course you don't just use your bedroom for sleeping. Well, I mean, I don't. You can do all sorts of things in it. You know, you sleep and you relax and you read books and you watch TV, and I know I do sketching in bed, and you also do what we politely like to term adult activities, if you know what I mean, and I think that you do. So the important thing in your Boudoir of Bliss, in your fantasy boudoir, is to be comfortable, obviously, but also to look a little bit gorgeous, because, you know, sleeping is good, but we all know that sexy is infinitely better. So I'm going to show you just quickly the envelope illustrations and quickly chat through with you what each one's about. Now, when we were designing this collection, we did a lot of research on contemporary sleepwear, and I have to tell you, contemporary sleepwear is really dull, really boring. We ended up looking at some real vintage and retro pieces for this, and as a result we've got some really, really beautiful things. There's no kind of standard sleep pants and big t-shirts here. I'm not going to find them here. You can get those anywhere you can buy them. But to make something really pretty, you need something really gorgeous, a really good pattern. So let's start off with the first one. The first one is the Boudoir of Bliss, ooh yeah baby doll, nightgown, robe and panties. It's quite a mouthful, I know. But this is basically a very, very simple little number, but you've got lots of variations on it. You can do the short baby doll version, you can also do the short robe to go on top of that, and obviously for safety's sake, shall we say, we've done a really sweet little kind of boxer style panty to go underneath it. Much as we love things to be sexy and glamorous, there comes a time when you may have to open the door in the morning to the mail carrier. Really, you need to be prepared for all eventualities. So this one has got a short and long version. You can make it very chic with the simple binding around the neckline, around the hems, or you can add a very kind of girly ruffle all the way around the neckline too, which looks beautiful. Now this will work in lots of different fabrics. You can really go mad with it and use a very beautiful kind of embroidered fabric or a lace or a semi-sheer. You could also go very chic and stick to something like a very, very understated handkerchief linen. All those things are going to look great. And the nice thing about the baby doll is that it's really, really easy to wear, very comfortable, not too fitted. It's got elastication under the bust, but it's not grippy tight, it's just relaxed. But the nice thing about it is that you can see it's quite a sexy little number. Not in a cheap way, more in a kind of refined sexy, which we think is really, really good. So that's the Ooh Yeah Baby Doll, great name incidentally, and I think you'll really like that. And that's a very kind of pretty, seductive look. You wouldn't really wear it to keep warm in, but frankly if you're wearing this you'll have other ways of keeping warm. Okay, so moving swiftly along, our other retro inspired piece is this, which is really great. This is the Boudoir of Bliss Pajama Rama, retro PJs and robe. Now, I really wanted to do a very kind of classic pajama, or more like a twist on a classic pajama, because a classic pajama just has a really kind of shapeless pant and a kind of shapeless top, and it's all well and good, but really we want to look fabulous. I mean, it's not a lot to ask. So this one is kind of a modern twist on a classic pajama. You've got a slightly fitted bodice. Now the bodice has got a French dart in it. I'm just going to roughly show you on me where a French dart is. Normally bust darts go from the bust point straight into the side seam. And that's fine for kind of a tailored or a more formal piece, but for something softer like a pajama, we've used a French dart which goes from the bust point and it curves down into the side like this. It doesn't make a vast amount of difference, except when you're wearing it, it really feels a lot more comfortable. So we've used a really beautiful French dart for that. We've also done this very, very groovy retro collar on it. It's got a 70s look. It's quite kind of super bad. And the pants on this have got a very gentle flare. They're almost a boot cut. Not quite, but almost. And of course, again, you've got length variations. You can use the pants long or as a short. You can use the top as a top with a short or long sleeve, or you can even lengthen the top into a robe if you just want to wear that kind of lounging around, kind of shuffling around the house looking fabulous. So this is a great basic pyjama pattern, but it's not a boring pyjama pattern. It's going to look fantastic in really beautiful, beautiful cottons or prints, whatever you want. But it's a lovely, lovely piece. Now, moving swiftly along, these are our two classic pieces. We really wanted to do some very kind of classic things, but it was very difficult to make sure that they were kind of chic and beautiful, but these really are. This is the Boudoir of Bliss Buckingham Beauty nightgown and nightshirt. And it's very, very simple. It's quite kind of crisp and tailored. Again, it's got the French darts that go into the side, and you've got an option of making it very frilly or keeping it really, really clean and understated with just a simple banded collar and a cuff. Again, you've got length variations, ankle length or short. It's really up to you, but I have to say I love it, and I think especially if you're living in a colder climate, especially over the winter, this is going to be great. Do it in something pretty, something chic, and you are done, done, done. So now we've got our second classically inspired piece. This is the Boudoir of Bliss Gloriana nightgown and pyjamas, and it's kind of like a modern version of the classic chemise, you know, the kind of undergarment that's been worn for thousands and thousands of years. But what I really like about it is it hasn't got too much volume. It's still quite trim looking. We've got a gown version and we've got a pyjama version. Really not a lot to say about this, except it's gorgeous, so pretty, so floaty, really feminine, but not frilly. So you're going to get a lot of mileage out of this one, and bear in mind that this will work so well in a t-shirting. It really will, for ultimate comfort. So we love the Gloriana. It's a really excellent kind of classic twisted piece. But of course, you can't really do sleepwear unless you do some vintage things. So we had a good look around. We found some really good vintage inspirations. And this is one of our absolute favourites. It's beautiful. This is the trousseau nightgown robe. And this is very kind of 30s looking. It's very, very glamorous. I mean, this is not something you want to wear when you just want an early night and you want to go to sleep. I think you know what I'm saying. This is really a very kind of special occasion outfit. You might wear it, you know, wedding anniversary, romantic getaway, you know, or just really for the heck of it. And this kind of thing would also make a beautiful, beautiful bridal shower gift. So I really recommend looking at this and just realising you can use this for anything. Any drapey fluid fabric is going to look beautiful in this. And our final piece, which is actually my absolute favourite in the whole collection, is the Bel Air lounging pyjamas. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but it's just a really simple wrap-over top with a very, very beautiful, slightly flared bottom. The key with this is we have contrast. We have contrast bands at the bottom of the pant, at the sleeve hem, at the body hem, and on the collar and the belt. And the whole thing about this is you can use even those fabrics that have a matte side and a shiny side. Looks fantastic. This is the kind of thing that really, if you're coming from a long, hard day, you know, it's all been traumatic and horrible out there, you don't care, you slink into your Bel Air lounging pyjamas and you are instantly Jean Harlow in Hollywood. You are instantly some kind of goddess just slinking around looking fabulous. All the cares of the day are gone, you look fab. So that's our Boudoir of Bliss collection. The final thing I would say to you, actually two things I would say to you about the Boudoir of Bliss is, first of all, they are all designed for woven fabrics, but every single piece in here will work in a knit, in a lightweight t-shirt, and maybe even a silk jersey if you fancy being completely decadent. And the other thing to say is, when you read the instructions on these, you will see that I still say, please make a muslin, and you will read it and say, she's clearly insane. Well, let me assure you I'm not, and I'll tell you why. Bear in mind that you spend a third of your life asleep. You may as well be wearing something comfy, and to get it comfy you need to make a muslin. So please do, but I know that you're going to enjoy these. You're going to love making them, you're going to love wearing them. And once again, thank you so much for watching.